Hello and welcome to another episode of Fintech Focus TV with me, Toby, powered by Harrington, Starr. And this is an exciting episode. It's exciting because I'm joined for the very first time by one of my dear friends, business partner, one of the co-founders of the Harrington Starr movement. She's inspiration to all around her. It is Nadia Edwards-Dashti. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much, Toby. It's really good to be on this with you. Like, I've listened to so many and watched so many of these that you've done. So I'm really excited to be the person that you're interviewing today.
It's very, very, very exciting. So, look, Nads, you are a multi-award winner. You've been doing some incredible things for diversity in the sector and for loads of other things over the course of the recent years and months. But for those who've just seen some of it or just been watching on the peripherals or not even heard of it before, tell us a little bit about why this is important to you and what you're doing at the moment and the whole work that you've been doing around diversity in the financial technology sector over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so I think it's important to say I've worked within this space for the last 16 years now. So I've seen a hell of a lot, like, over the years, and I've seen a lot of change happen. But actually, there's a huge point that not enough change has happened. And I'm somebody that, rather than sitting on the sides and watching things and moaning about things that I don't think are right, I want to get involved. And I think that my position as co-founder of Harrington Starr has meant that I've had a huge amount of visibility, but also I've got a big responsibility to the marketplace that we serve. And we have a huge influence within that marketplace. And it's not just, being a recruiter isn't just about hiring and putting somebody into a job. We help people build on their careers and we build great businesses. We partner with our companies and our clients. And I think it's so important that the lessons that I've learned over the years, I can share them with our client base and with the people in the industry to make this industry so much better.
And I think for both of us over the last 15, 20 years, one of the things we've constantly heard from our clients has been the sort of need for more diversity within technology in all sorts of forms and shapes. And I know you've been working really, really hard on that. But this project that you're doing at the moment, I think, is extremely exciting, and it's, as you say, the actions rather than words. And this is absolutely down that sort of line. It's shining a light on something and can really help with that. You've created the 17% list. Tell us a little bit about what that means and the sort of benefits that you can bring to the sector from that.
Absolutely. So what is the 17% list? Really simple. The simple things work, right? It's a group of people committed to the same mission. They each want to do something that will drive real change for gender equality in the workplace. I think this group of people and people that sign up to the 17% list, they will just, as a bar, understand the facts around the inextricable link between business profits and innovation and creativity and diversity of thought and diversity of people. And they know that those things make a great business and a successful business and a profitable business, let alone the fact that it's just the right thing to do. So for me, it's really simple. By becoming part of the 17% list, everybody on it will receive an email from me every fortnight of 3 technologists or technology sales talents that are currently looking for work. And yes, they happen to be female. So the only commitment for people to be part of this list is to look at these emails and think about where these women could fit into their team, their business, their network.
Okay, and you mentioned 17%. Tell us a little bit about where that comes from. What's the thinking behind the name?
So as we know, only 17% of the technology industry are women, and this figure hasn't, sorry, my cat's just got involved.
I'm glad you said it was a cat.
Too. She's a female too, and she's a woman of technology. So as we know, only 17% of the technology industry are women, and this figure actually hasn't moved much over the past few years, and it's really disappointing. There's been loads of talk about change. There's been loads of campaigns, awards, media drives, educational initiatives, but simply the needle just hasn't moved. We're still stuck around the 17% mark. People have spoken so loudly in campaigns to attract women to the industry. And even earlier on this year, it was January, Computer Weekly actually quoted that this percentage hadn't changed for 10 years. So even though we can all say we're talking about it, again, it goes to are we walking that talk, and are we bringing action to the words that we bring. So thinking about the problem, most of the objections I hear are that people want to hire women, but they don't know where to find them. And if they do find them, they're just not quite right for the job, or it's not quite right at the right time. So I think actually there's a huge problem around the fact that we hire in very traditional ways, and the ways that I actually believe are quite gender biased. So the way that people hire is they have a vacancy in a box and they say, right, let's find people to fit this vacancy in a box. So immediately people are trying to build their teams by being reactive. So my podcast series, The Women of Fintech, that's seen me interview over 100 women across fintech in C-level suite, exec, leadership positions, etc. And over 75% of them, I'd say, have each told me that their careers have been built by somebody molding a role around them, or creating a role for them. And so that got me thinking. And I think that the community and the fintech community is all about challenging the status quo. And I think that the community has a huge opportunity to now challenge the status quo again, but this time in how they hire. If they're truly committed to building the best teams and the most successful businesses, let's have a look at how we build these teams.
So your mission around this, I mean, you mentioned the needle's not moved for 10 years, which is extraordinary, right?
Yeah.
What sort of genuine impact do you think you can have? What's the mission that's really driving this?
Well, actually, I thought about the name itself. Like, I would love if next year it's the 18% list or the 22% list. But, you know, realistically, what can I do right now? My mission is to create visibility, and visibility is my key word on this, by having at least 150 sponsors in the fintech space sign up to this list so that they can gain proper visibility of the 17% that are out there as and when they're looking. I know that so many people want to drive a more equal figure, but essentially they're unsure of how to do that other than enforcing quotas in their application process. So by being part of this list, what I want to do is really give people the confidence that they see who's out there, and that next time they're around a boardroom table or having a coffee meeting and someone says, oh, I just couldn't find, or I couldn't see females out there, that person can say, well, actually, I do see it. And I see it every 2 weeks from emails that Nadia sends. Imagine if we've got 150 people, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But let's say that's my initial goal, 150 people out there being able to challenge what we accept at the moment. Because essentially, I think that we behave as if 17% of the technology population, we behave as if it's only 1 or 2%. So for me, it's not about just implementing these quotas alone. It's about rethinking what we can do. And this list and being part of it, I think will drive that rethink. So my proposal is to be proactive. I want to move away from this reactive way of trying to change these numbers. I want to be proactive by showcasing who is out there and when they're out there. And I think the key thing is that these profiles may not be for you or your business right now. And as such, this isn't actually a recruitment drive. Instead, it's a visibility and confidence drive, so that we can make sure 100, 150, 200 people can talk to their contacts with confidence that the 17% list exists. And next time someone says they wish they'd seen more profiles of females when they were hiring, someone else can say, well, actually, I see it all the time. So the mission is actually a simple one. It's confidence and visibility.
So with regards to that, look, I'm a business that's looking to improve my diversity in my team. I'm one of the people who have sat there saying, I wish we could have, you know, sort of more females in the tech team, etc., to increase that balance. And I hear about this and I want to get involved. What can I expect from you? What am I signing up to?
Again, it is so simple, and I think actually what you will sign up to is simply that you'll be receiving 2 emails a month from me with 3 profiles of female technologists who are seeking new employment within the industry. They will have had conversations with me, and specifically, they'll be looking for firms who are genuine about creating an environment that espouses inclusion. Of course, I'll have had conversations with them, and those talent pools confirm they're happy to share their details. The key thing is that these profiles could be of a developer, a change professional, a product manager, a support individual, a technical salesperson, any other specialism across the tech industry. The point for me is to increase your visibility of who's out there, and in turn, in turn, what I really want is to change our traditional ways of identifying diverse talent. I want to turn that on its head. Rather than only looking for these quota targets, I want to show companies that they can introduce themselves to people when they see a profile that could potentially work for them. So actually, your commitment isn't much. It's receiving an email and saying, I'm on the 17% list, and having a look at that email and thinking creatively about it. My end goal will be that we are much more creative about how we identify talent and how we build roles for them. But I think I just want to start small. Make sure that these 150 people look at this and they then think creatively about this list and about what they can do with the people that they receive. So again, so simple. It'll just be that you have visibility of who is the 17% out there. I will be really big on social media, and I'll be talking a lot about this campaign. What I will also do is share infographic support with anybody on the list so that they can put out on LinkedIn or any of their social media channels that they are on the list, because realistically, if they want to be showing the world that they espouse proper diversity within their company, then they should be telling the world that they're doing that. And in turn, it'll just be an email twice a month from me, and we can have conversations about those emails all the time, because these will be people that I know, that I've spoken to, and that are on this mission with us. So for me, it's about real change. It's about talking. It's not just talking, it's about walking those talks and to make sure that it's action orientated. So anyone that is interested in doing this, let's set up a conversation and I can really explain how we can take this further.
So this isn't about necessarily sort of filling your jobs and providing quotas and split applicants. This is about saying, look, here's some outstanding female talent that's out in the marketplace at the moment, and we can work with you to help shape a role and get them the best opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
So look, you're sat there at the moment with a number of companies who've already signed up to this. The early adopters are moving already. You've had some fantastic feedback to it.
Yeah.
What sort of companies? I mean, is this the staple of a large company? Is it a small company thing? Is it anyone? Is it sector specific in terms of vendors or asset managers, hedge funds, investment banks? Or is this just completely agnostic? Is this anyone who's there and looking to do this can speak to you? Who should be specifically reaching out to you, and what are they what sort of tribe are they joining here?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm so glad that you've asked that question, because yes, it is agnostic. Already the people that are signed up to this list, and so many have signed up already, and I'm so pleased about that. But essentially I have a number of very large traditional banks who will use the list in different ways. I think, companies of different sizes will use the list differently. I've got startups, I've got vendors, I've got brokers. There's a whole range. And I think that's the point. This is why I chose for it not to be that I send a female support technologist to support managers or people that I know specifically look for support. This is about raising visibility and raising the confidence of who are that 17% in the marketplace, and are we doing enough with them? So for me, it is open, and let's work out how we can make this initiative work for you. Let's drive this real action for change together.
Fantastic. And with regards to everything else that you are doing, there's so much that you're moving down. You've got your podcast series, and we've got Women of Fintech in that. We've got the talent surgery. Tell everyone a little bit more about all the other sort of aspects that you're doing as well at the moment.
Yeah, so I've been doing quite a few bits. I love being part of events, and obviously because of lockdown and COVID, I'm not necessarily doing events where I'm talking on panels sat next to people or in auditoriums with 200 plus people. But yesterday I spoke to the Diversity Network, again presenting a plan of mine called Step Forward for Gender Equality, an 11-point plan where we celebrate the good things that are happening in the marketplace, but also a call to action for what more people can be doing. So I do a lot of that. I work with different universities to help encourage more individuals to the fintech community. And actually a lot of what I do with universities is demystifying what the hell fintech is. Incredibly, there are so many university students that that they actually associate fintech with, you know, the original Wall Street film, the sort of, you know, like 80s finance. They associate fintech with that, which is just, you know, there's such a need for demystifying that. So I absolutely love the partnership I've got with a number of universities, University of Reading, the University of East London, to mention just two. And of course, my podcast series, they've grown from strength to strength. And now I have diversified in my podcast series. So as I mentioned earlier, I've spoken to over 100 women of fintech and interviewed them and celebrated their journeys and how they've grown within their careers. I've now moved that to a focus called Humans of Fintech, the diversity and inclusion discussions, because for me, yes, even though this 17% drive is very much gender focused, I think gender is one part of a huge pie that we've got to start making an impact on. But I think it's very important that when you talk about diversity, it's not just all diversity. Let's take it section by section. Let's really make an impact in small bites, or whatever that phrase is about eating an elephant, you know. So I now have Humans of Fintech. My talent surgery podcast series has been so successful because that is where I partner with and support the talent acquisition, chief of staff, chief of people of different fintech companies. And we celebrate, again, that word celebration, we celebrate what they are doing differently to invest in their staff and to retain their staff. And I think, again, that normally surprises people because I'm a recruiter. Surely I should just be interested in finding people new jobs. But actually, as you, I'm preaching to converted telling you this, but for the listeners, you know, for us, when we started up Harrington Starr, it wasn't about quick turnaround, and it wasn't about turnover. It was about, let's build people some fantastic careers and help them make the best choices for themselves, and those best choices will become really huge supports to the industry, because through their best choices, it'll mean they'll be their best self for the companies they're in. Companies will become their best selves. In turn, the industry becomes so strong and moving forward so quickly. And I always link it to, it affects our economy. We want to be a really strong economy. Well, actually, it starts off with making sure people are happy in their jobs and really want to make a difference day in, day out. So the talent surgery is about celebrating that. So I think you can see I'm all about wanting to support the industry. It's not just finding one person a job, even though I think it starts there, and finding somebody a great career. There's so much that happens around it to really affect our industry for good and for positive.
Listen, it's amazing stuff that's happening on there. The needle is shifting. You're making waves, and I'm really proud of you for that. I think it's right at the very start we talked about action over change, and this is one of the key things here is, and the thing I love about all of it is positive. That this is about moving things forward and actually having tangible solutions and positive steps forward that are going to make a difference. And you are doing that every single day, and it's wonderful to see. So Nadia, thank you so much for sharing this. People are watching, want to get involved in the 17% club, want to get to find out a little bit more. I know you're always open to conversations, and it's a passion to be discussing it. How should they get in touch with you?
Anyway, like I am here and ready to talk. So please contact me through LinkedIn, contact me through Insta, email me, Nadia.Edwards-Dashti @harringtonstarr.com, Starr with 2 R's. Get in touch with me, call me, my mobile number's on my LinkedIn. I can't wait to talk to people about this. I'm super passionate about it.
And you will not regret it if you are going to be reaching out and giving Nadia a call. So, Nads, listen, thanks so much for sharing all of that. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon on another episode of Fintech Focus TV. Thanks a lot.